Hey guys, what's happening? It's Tyler Davis back with Keep Showing Up. Definitely appreciate you taking time to check it out. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Definitely check back for content and be sure to leave comments. I want to engage with you guys. I want to know kind of what you guys are feeling about some of these things. Today we're going to talk about 3 ways to keep showing up. And when I say 3 ways, I want to talk about different aspects of the whole keep showing up mindset and things like that. For the first one, and I know this sounds super cliche, what is your why? What's your why? Like, I'm sure whenever you've talked about starting a journey of some kind, whether it's weight loss or you're going to start a new career, people will say, like, you got to have a strong enough why. And that's real, that's true, but like, what does that really even mean, to have a strong enough why? For me, when I think of what is a strong enough why, it's like, what is it that is gonna stop you from hitting snooze in the morning? What is it that's gonna stop you from quitting the first time things get hard? What's gonna stop you from the first time you're doing a workout, sweat's pouring off of you, everything's hurting, lungs are burning? What's gonna keep you going? What's a strong enough why? Is it a superficial why? Is it for something that's just on the exterior? And when I say that, I mean, that can be a good reason why, that if it's the spark. If it's the spark that gets you started, that's perfect. But what happens when you reach that first goal and then you hit that? Don't fall off. Man, back in the day when I started my initial P90X journey, I did it for 9 months straight. Every single day. I still do it. 10 years later, I still use the program. I do tons of other stuff. I teach my classes too, but I keep showing up back to the OG, back to I know what really kept me going. You just gotta keep going. So P90X, for example, is 90 days. I would have people ask me, what do I do? What do I do when it's done? Like, what do you mean, what do you do? There's not no rule that says you can only do it for 90 days and then you can't do it no more. You just keep going. Or you find the next thing. You set a new target. And when I say a strong enough reason why, like let's take for example, a lot of times in weight loss and health journeys, somebody, take a wedding for example. Somebody wants to get into that amazing little dress or that nice little slim suit, right? So you're off and running. You're eating right, you're doing your workouts, focused on that goal, focused on that wedding. So then the day of that wedding comes up, and then you go there, not one person says anything about how good you look in your dress or how good you look in your suit. And why is that? Most of the time, it's not that you don't look amazing in it. You reached the goal, you did that, but those same people over there, they're so worried about how they look in their dress, how they look in their suit. They're not as focused on you as you are. So if then you go there and you feel deflated and you're all down on yourself because your whole motivation for getting healthy and getting in shape and was looking good in a dress, then you went there and not one person commented on it, that's not going to be a strong enough reason why. So that's what I mean by that. For me, man, burnt into my mind is the image of my dad at 56 years old laying there dead in a casket. I was literally walking in his footsteps. You know, we had a montage of pictures that my brother put together, and when he was my age at that time, he was a lot heavier. And I had like 6 different people come up to me, and they were looking at the pictures, and they'd be like, "Man, I forgot how big your dad used to be." They would pause for a second, and they'd be like, "Man, you guys look so much alike." Now, they weren't trying to tell me that, man, you're overweight. But they didn't have to tell me that. I already knew that. I was 100 plus pounds overweight, had gout in my feet, knees, you know, they didn't have to tell me that. So after I heard that over and over, I'm like, man, you know, I have kids. Are they gonna be staring at me in a casket? So, I mean that, and then I finally got a DUI, close proximity time together. After laying on the jail cell for about 9 hours. And I'll go into depth in that story in another episode. But I walked out to my pregnant wife and 2 sons. You know, so My reason why, I wanted to change my future. I wanted to change my kids' future. I wanted to change the relationship with my wife. I wanted to change the trajectory of future generations based on my decision. So for me, that is a really deep-rooted, deep-seated reason why. So for me, that's a strong enough why. So when I wake up in the morning and the alarm goes off and I don't feel like doing it, and damn, I have days when I don't feel like doing it, that reason why, that is deep-seated, deep-rooted within me, that's a strong enough reason why. So when I say you have to have a strong enough reason why, that's what I mean. So when you set your goals, when you set your targets, don't just skim the surface. Get down to the root. What's that thing that is going to keep you going when things get really tough? That's what I'm talking about with the why. Next up, number 2, with your goals, you gotta be realistic. Be realistic with the goals. Now, I'm not saying don't set your eyes on the prize. You know what I mean? I'm not saying set a low target, but what I mean is be realistic with the amount of time that it's gonna take to reach the target. Be realistic with the amount of effort that it's gonna take. A lot of times you might start off with a goal and you think it's gonna take X amount. Really, it's gonna take 10X. You're gonna have to do way more than what you initially think. And that's just a fact. I've proven that to myself, whether it's career goals, whether it's goals in my health, weight loss, all those different stuff. And I've watched many people, whether it's clients or people I've helped out through the Beachbody community or what have you, man, you have to really, really, really know realistically it is going to take a long time and it's going to take a heck of a lot of effort. So being realistic with the timeline, like think about it. So let's say you are at a current state of health. You didn't get there overnight. You didn't just wake up one day and maybe be borderline diabetic or have high blood pressure or be overweight or something like that. That was small choices compounded over time, whether that be years of time, months of time. You know, it takes time. So therefore, on the flip side of the coin, it's going to take equal amount of time and effort to go back the other way. So don't get down on yourself. Like, I'll never forget, I was about 5 weeks or so into P90X the first time, and I'm sitting there at the kitchen table, and I look at Kelly, my wife, and I was about to give up. You know, I was so down on myself. I wasn't seeing any changes or anything like that. I might have felt a little better, but I didn't really see any changes. And I remember her just, you know, like she always does with me. She was like, look, dude, you're this close. You're this close. If you quit now, you ain't never gonna see the changes. Never. And she was right. She's always right. But she was absolutely right. So what did I do? I stuck with it. It was about 3 more weeks after that. I'll never forget, I'm kind of walking by and I catch a glimpse in the mirror. I'm like, oh man, wow, I do look different. Like, man, she was right. So when I say that, man, it took me a long time to undo a lot of the stuff. And I mean, if we're being real, I'm 10 years plus into my sobriety journey. I'm still fighting it. It's one day at a time. I mean, if you think that there aren't times like social settings or something like that, or if I get real stressed out with the accumulation of work, family, all these different things, the weight of the world on you, you think those little demons ain't on my shoulders still saying, have a drink, dude, have a drink? No, they're there. They're there. They're patient. They're waiting for me. You got to be realistic. The thing is, I decided a long time ago that I knew it was going to be that way. I knew it wasn't an overnight fix. I mean, when you decide to get sober for the rest of your life, or to have a health transformation, like for me, I always joke and say, like, I didn't lose 100 pounds. I got rid of it. Like, I ain't trying to find it. It ain't lost. I ain't out looking for it. It just took time. It's going to take you time. Be realistic with it. Have grace with yourself. Give yourself permission to take the time. Like for me, when I look at my nutrition, it's I implement a 90-10 rule. 90% of the time, I eat clean. I eat on point. My meals and snacks are prepared. 10% of the time, life happens. Kids want to go out to eat. It's a birthday party. Wife wants to have dinner out to eat or something like that. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny myself. No, man, 10% of the time life happens. I don't plan cheat meals. That's just for me. I mean, if you plan them, that's awesome. Know what you're doing. Have a cheat meal. Don't have a cheat day. You can undo a lot of effort with a whole cheat day. I mean, you can derail. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, man, life happens. If you want the cookie, enjoy the damn cookie. That's just how it's got to be. At least for long-term longevity. That way you can keep showing up at it. Otherwise, if you're too restrictive, like for me, I mean, I'm an addict, man. So the first year, I didn't have a bite of cake, not a cookie, not a piece of Halloween candy. It sucked. It's straight up miserable. So you can't be so regimented. You know, like palm trees are on the coastal areas, right? And why is that? Why is that the only place that you find palm trees by the beach? That's the only place they have hurricanes and extremely high winds like that. So they have to be able to bend. They got to be pliable. Otherwise, if they were so rigid, they would snap and break. You can't be that way either. So be realistic with the targets. Be realistic with the amount of time it's going to take. And just know, if you keep showing up every single day, keep showing up. That's what it's all about. You set the target. Know it's going to take effort. Be realistic. Give yourself grace. Stay humble. Keep showing up. That's what it's all about. And number 3 of all the things that I wanted to talk about was keep showing up. What happens if you don't keep showing up? Consistency is king, man. I mean, it's one of those things where in the beginning you're going to be all excited. It's going to be the honeymoon phase. You get the new car, you get the new house, you get the new relationship. Everything's going great. About 3-4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6, something like that. And then all of a sudden, like that new smell wears off. The sparks maybe not there as much. The monotony of it starts to set in. The reality of it sets in. Oh man, like if I'm really gonna go where I said I was gonna go, I gotta keep showing up. I can't stop. I have to do this again. I have to eat the healthy food again. I gotta go to the gym again. I gotta press play again. I gotta go to work again. I gotta make the sales calls again. You have to keep showing up. So be realistic with the amount of effort and time it's going to take. So when you set this goal in the beginning, really think about it. Is this what you really want? Is this something that you're really fully invested in? Is this something that you can continue to show up to day after day after day after day? Things are going to get tough. They're going to get crazy tough. What is it that's going to keep you showing up, man? I mean, what is the why? That's why I talked about it in the beginning. You have to get down to the root of it, to the very source of what it is you really want. Otherwise, you're just scratching the surface, man. Time is precious. You only get so much in life. So make sure you know what you're going after. Otherwise, you're just wasting precious time. Be realistic with the amount of time it's going to take. Because if you're going to invest time in doing something, you want to get results from it. That's the whole point of it. Once this second is gone, like right now you're watching this video with me. That moment, gone forever. You can never get it back. Time is one of the most precious things you have. Spend it wisely and be realistic with the amount of effort it's going to take. And most importantly, keep showing up. Day after day after day. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up to the channel. Keep showing up for yourself. I definitely appreciate you guys. I want to gain momentum with you guys. I want to know ways that you keep showing up. Please like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Check out more content coming. Stay well, guys. Keep showing up.